Last video we discussed the coding of the sign of the Son of Man. If you have not seen it, I will link it. It was on my main channel. The coding of the sign of the Son of Man were associated with many worried looks on celebrities' faces. Why did they use George and Amal Clooney for the sign of the Son of Man coding? And what about Ben and Jennifer? Well, first of all, George's name, full name, equals sign. George Clooney, 146, sign, 146. And then Amal's name codes the Son of Man, God, coming. Amal Clooney, 620, the Son of Man, God, coming, 620. So together, the sign of the Son of Man, God, coming. Look at these pictures of Ben Affleck. It's his wedding. Why does he look so unhappy and so worried? Look at her. It's their wedding. I can tell you why, because the code is in their wedding. That's the reason why they did that whole fiasco. It was already pre-planned for a specific code. Her heavy blush is actually a code. Look at it. Nobody wears their blush like that. Heavy blusher. Look at that. It's ridiculous. It equals sign. Sign 146. Heavy blusher 146. They were talking about the sign of the Son of Man. Check the link if you haven't seen the video. Why do they look like this when they supposedly just got married? Like, her eyes are popping out. Look at the look on his face. They look so happy, don't they? Something's going on, obviously. Look at his face. Why them? Why did they code this topic? Why did they get married? It was a signal, a pre-planned one, a signal of this. Son of Man, 307, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez married, 307. Watch my last video on the sign of the Son of Man if you haven't. It's linked. It's on my main channel, which I will link. So now after they coded the sign of the Son of Man, they are now coding a new topic. It is Rosh Hashanah. And days, quote, cut short in an article that codes the Jewish date of Rosh Hashanah 2022. Good morning, all. I just wanted to get this video out to you quickly today because we were looking at the August 4th and August 5th birthday codes, and I realized yet they are another anchor date pointing to another date, unfortunately. but it is very clear what it is, and I'm going to be showing that to you in this video. The reason why they were coding Barack Obama's birthday is this. Take a look at this code. She looks retro in a collared dress. First of all, take a look at she's looking straight at the camera, and then this is coffee or caffeine or iced coffee. It means decoded. Decoded equals 75, coffee equals 75, caffeine also equals 75. Okay, it was decoded, that's what they're saying, is 817, and that equals God's birthday code. The end of the year, which is Rosh Hashanah, 817, retro in a collared dress, 817. The end of the year is Rosh Hashanah. The code of the date of Rosh Hashanah equals Barack birthday, which is why they were heavily coding Barack's birthday. Now we know why. Barack birthday equals 701. Rosh Hashanah is on 701, which is September 26, 2022. The first of Tishrei, 701, is September 26. Barack birthday equals 701. The Barack's birthday code was about Rosh Hashanah. They call him God. The reason is that his birthday is 1961. This year is when he turns 61 is when a lot of things are going to be happening. So God's birthday code. His first name is Barack. Barack birthday is 701. 701 is the date for Rosh Hashanah this year. It's 9/26. Rosh Hashanah starts eve of Rosh Hashanah, 9/25 through 9/27, 2022. Rosh Hashanah does fulfill a lot of the themes of the return, the second coming, and the harvest. And that is what this video is about. They were very, very busy. You remember my last video, encoding the sign of the Son of Man. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. They were heavily encoding it, and their faces were showing great worry and stress over that very fact that the sign, they said, had been seen. Of course, only disclosed via codes, but that's what they do. So the Barack birthday code was not, in fact, pointing to August 4th and August 5th, but it was a code for Tishrei the 1st, which is September 26, 2022. This entire video will be codes showing them encoding Rosh Hashanah and all of the associated codes with it. Along with that, they are encoding the second coming, the return, and all of those things. Okay? When I show you what Rosh Hashanah means and is called, it's going to make a lot of sense with the parables that we were given regarding the harvest that Jesus gave us. It does make a lot of sense. So that's what Barack's birthday code was about. Not that something was going to happen on August 4th, but looking ahead to 701, which is our 9/25, 9/26, 2022. September 25, September 26, 2022. If you're seeing this on my main channel, you're not going to be seeing it August 5th. They went back in my history and gave me a strike on a video all the way back from last year, November. Okay, that seems a little fishy to me. Why did they all of a sudden find a problem with it? And I actually scoured the video and nothing was amiss. I did contest it. I think it's ridiculous that I got a strike. But I will be publishing this on my backup channel. I'm going to be putting a link to both my backup channel and my regular channel. I do strongly suggest that you not count on YouTube to keep my channel. You need to go into your bookmarks on my YouTube channels, go to bookmark and click bookmark this tab. That's how you're going to find it again. They unsubscribe people from my channels, so don't count on being able to find my channel again. They've been doing this for a long time, and I constantly am getting messages about this. They've been artificially keeping my subscriber numbers really, really low. They don't want my channel to grow. I think the more your channel grows, the more visibility you get. It doesn't matter to me, except that it makes me angry that they're playing unfair games. I've never been looking for money. I've never been looking for fame. I just wanted to get the information out. I just wanted people to see their secret language. I wanted to see that Hollywood is a system full of Satanists. As you can see, they all do the secret language. And they all do the coding. So now the mystery of Barack's birthday is revealed, and then now you're going to see just how much they are coding. September 25th, Rosh Hashanah. So Tishri 1 in 2022 is September 26th, 2022. September 26th. And ends on the 27th. It actually begins on September 25th, which is the eve of Rosh Hashanah. And you're going to see codes for all of that, okay?
Now here are Ryan Seacrest and Allie Whitworth.
He's wearing a shorts suit. They explain it later. Is 8/17. The end of the year equals 8/17. Okay? The end of the year is Rosh Hashanah. It's on 6/29 or 7/01, which is our September 25th and September 26th and 27th. They've been coding all of this. He just slightly says right, which equals 960 as he walks, equals doomsday, second coming. Doomsday equals 6/29. Rosh Hashanah is on 6/29. That's our September 25th, 2022. Motions to her belt and her dress. Watch as she motions to her dress. Blue and white dress, belt 1690. Jesus is coming on Rosh Hashanah 1690. Watch as I continually pull codes that have to do with Rosh Hashanah. I'm not a magician and I'm not a coder. I don't know how to do this. All I know how is to decode. And so when I keep seeing the same topic popping up over and over again, that's how I know it's correct. Every single code that they're doing in this show and on the next show on the next day, plus the Daily Mail articles, are all talking about Rosh Hashanah. I'm not a magician. All I know is how to read and to decode what they're saying and the topic that they are concerned with at this moment. After my last video, which they heavily coded the sign of the Son of Man, now they are talking about Jesus and Rosh Hashanah in 2022. Rosh Hashanah is known as the harvest. Rosh Hashanah is known as the time that they blow the trumpet. Rosh Hashanah is also known as Judgment Day. We have heard all of these things in Revelation concerning the end of times and Jesus' return. A lot of the terminology Jesus used in the parables having to do with the last days can be fulfilled in Rosh Hashanah, Judgment Day, the harvest, blowing of the trumpet. It all makes sense for that day. Here they are now heavily coding it, encoding it, especially after they were coding the sign of the Son of Man with doomed looks on their faces a couple weeks ago. Now we know what they were talking about.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
He mouthed what and then said, okay, thank you. The code is what, okay, thank you, 1878, 377, 1878. The reason why he had to do this is they had to clarify that they're talking about Rosh Hashanah, 377. So 377 equals 1878. Okay, thank you equals 1878. Clarifying that yes, indeed, they are talking about Rosh Hashanah. Short suit equals 817. The end of the year, 817. Rosh Hashanah is both the end of the year and the beginning of the year. I looked up the end of the year and it's actually called Rosh Hashanah. It's 6th month, the 29th day, and then the beginning of the year is the 7th month and the 1st day, which is our September 25th and 26th. At Brad Pitt's recent premiere, he was stated to be wearing an emerald suit. That's not emerald, but that's what they called it. Okay, guys. So anyway, emerald suit is 544, and the new year is 1544. They probably used that color for a specific reason, but they're definitely coding Rosh Hashanah.
I don't know. I saw Shirley. Shirley literally had the most surprised face I've ever seen in my life.
I love shorts and a loafer and a jacket.
He turns his head right when she begins to say the code and does sign language when she's finished.
Shorts and a loafer and a jacket.
Okay, shorts and a loafer and a jacket. 1391 equals Judgment Day. Rosh Hashanah is known as Judgment Day, as you can see here. Mishnah contains the reference known to Rosh Hashanah as the Day of Judgment. So it's definitely called the Day of Judgment.
In a jacket.
Listen, it's Wednesday, August 3rd to celebrate. Kelly is out to celebrate Allie Wentworth here. I'm in my summer suit.
So he says summer suit and then touches the glass desk. She says thank you and he taps her right after she said thank you.
My summer suit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wentworth here. I'm in my summer suit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Says summer suit and signs it, puts his hand on the glass desk. She says thank you. He taps her. 196 summer suit glass desk. Thank you. Happy New Year. 1960. Jewish Happy New Year is 9/26/2022 and the date is 6/29/2022 on their calendar. Also 701 and 702. Watch the guest. She tilts her head right after he says the coded quote.
And the weather. And the weather.
Okay, and the weather, 1257. It's equals a code within a code. They make them stupid, so nobody assumes anything about these codes. Second coming, and then of Michael Jackson equals 926. So 926 would be 701. Rosh Hashanah starts 629, 701, and 702. So that would be 926. So it would be 925, 926, 927. So that code decoded equaled a second coming of Michael Jackson equaled 926 in Gematria. 926 is Rosh Hashanah, the second day, which equals their 701. This code stands for September 26, 2022. Rosh Hashanah starts on 9/25 and it goes to 9/27, September 27, 2022. That's what this code meant.
And I read this article that shorts are the new skirt. And so skirts are out and shorts are in for everybody.
Yeah, except for Brad Pitt. He wore a skirt recently to a premiere.
This is what they were talking about. He wore a skirt to the Bullet Train premiere. He says the bizarre reason he gives for wearing the skirt is we're all going to die, so let's mess it up. Does this have anything to do with their freaked out faces 2 weeks ago and all the codes having to do with the sign of the Son of Man? That's really interesting. And then now they're talking about Rosh Hashanah and Jesus and Second Coming and all of that stuff. And now he says we're all going to die, so let's mess it up. That's really interesting. And then you're going to see shortly, they had an article about how the days were cut short when there was a wobble on 6/29, which is just a code for Rosh Hashanah. We're going to see that in a moment. They say he is wearing a skirt in capital letters, but they give the exact words that you find in Wikipedia for what a kilt is. So if you go look up kilt in Wikipedia, it's a knee-length skirt for men. So that's how I knew what they were. I was like, are they coding Scottish kilt? And they were, because they used that exact quote for what is in Wikipedia under the listing for Scottish for kilt. So Scottish kilt is $9.90. And then they had another celebrity wearing the Scottish kilt. So whenever they do numerous trends in one, that means they're coding something. When you start seeing, the same clothing pop up over and over again, it's because they're coding that particular number for some reason. And then that equals Jewish New Year. Okay, that equaled Scottish kilt. $9.90. So here's the other article with the Scottish kilt, okay? And we're going to go over this later. This article was also, you see I'm doing a hand sign? He was holding a Fiji water bottle and signing an H in ASL right on top of it. This equals the Day of Judgment. That is Rosh Hashanah coming up starting September 25th, 2022. If you start to see orange as a trend, that's because 183 is orange, okay? Because they're going to be coding that, and I've been starting to see orange. So that article, we're going to go over that later. But yeah, Scottish kilt equals Jewish New Year. They're talking about Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is September 25th through September 27th, 2022.
To this new movie?
Yeah, so I think he's switching it up. We're all wearing shorts now, and Brad's putting on a little frock.
Everything's cyclical.
She mouthed S-I-M when he said so I am. So instead of so I am, we're going to take so I am as the code. So right when he was saying so I am, she made that S sound and then I and then AM with her mouth equals 180. June 29th is the 180th day of the year. September 25th, 2022, Rosh Hashanah is 629 on the Jewish calendar, which is the 180th day of the year. And so I am equals 180. 629 is the 180th day of the year. Rosh Hashanah is Jewish, 629, September 25th, 2022.
It says shorts are finally making, the big shorts are finally making.
She bobbed her head. Shorts are finally making.
Shorts are finally making.
Shorts are finally making 1097. The harvest, 1097. Rosh Hashanah is also known as the harvest. The origin of the Hebrew New Year, and you can see, is that it was also known as the harvest.
Shorts are finally making the big
She looked up at the and then looked up at the big, motioning. That was also the code, the big. So March 6th equals 629. Okay, they're just using that as a substitute because September 25th is 629 on the Jewish calendar. Rosh Hashanah. Hey guys, so after they did all that coding about Rosh Hashanah, which is September 25th, 2022, you saw them code the whole intro was just full of codes that have to do with that. Is 629. And look what I found for 629. 629, and they did this, they published it on August 1st. So this is a code because I first started seeing all these brand new codes for Rosh Hashanah just today, and I saw them busy all weekend coding something new. I hadn't figured it out yet. But I figured it out finally this morning when I saw Ryan. Sometimes I can figure out the articles easier, and then sometimes I can figure out the live shows easier. It's just, my brain is just attuned to either thing. And for right now, I'm just better with the shows, picking up their gibberish language and their gematria language. Sometimes I'm better picking out the articles, but so this is extremely coded. So first of all, 629 is Rosh Hashanah on the Jewish calendar. So 629 is Rosh Hashanah. So that's the Jewish New Year. They also call it the harvest. They call it the head of the year because it's the Jewish New Year. And then look at this. Cut short. Where did we hear this? We know that it was the days were cut short for the sake of the elect, because if the days hadn't been cut short, no flesh would be saved. And then so we have that wording. So cut short, and then it was the shortest day ever due to a slight wobble. I don't know if you believe that, because if that was true, why would they wait to publish it until August 1st? If this supposedly happened June 29th. This is coding. And I'm going to prove to you it's coding, because this 629 is exactly a code for this. The end of the year is Rosh Hashanah. So I Googled the end of the Jewish year is also the New Year. So it's like our New Year's Eve and the New Year's Day. It's the same exact concept. And look, the end of the Jewish New Year, September 25th, and ends in the evening, Tuesday, September 27th. What is the end of the Jewish New Year called? Rosh Hashanah. Okay? So, the end of the year is 159. And so this article, it's coded, but they're coming out with this now. It's August 3rd, and when I'm seeing the codes for Jesus is coming on Rosh Hashanah.
It says shorts are finally making the big comeback. It says shorts are finally making the big comeback for both the big.
So he says the big comeback, and then she nods her head down at that. 306, the big. They love to do date conversions. March 6th is 629. That date keeps popping up. What is it? It's Rosh Hashanah. It's 629, which is September 25th, 2022. 2 months away, you guys. It makes a lot of sense. Let's go look up Rosh Hashanah to see if it makes sense. Okay, and then the days were cut short. Look at the wording they used in that article. So the 1st of Tishri is Rosh Hashanah. So look at this. The 1st of Tishri, 1086, shortened the days, 1086. So the days being cut short might be a code for Rosh Hashanah, the 1st of Tishri. Okay? So that's why they were surprised, I think, when they saw the sign. And then, you know, that was my last video. And now they're saying when they think it's coming. You have to understand, they can see things that we don't. They're very high tech. Anyway, it makes a lot of sense for Rosh Hashanah to be the Lord's return. It's the day of shouting or blasting, so the trumpet call. And I believe this is, you know, like when the return, like we get raptured and then destruction is poured out. Okay, so they sound the shofar, which is the sounding of the trumpet. So that makes a lot of sense too. It's the day of the harvest. So that makes a lot of sense as far as the day that the rapture of the church and the day of judgment would be. Rosh Hashanah is the day of judgment. It fits all of the clues as far as when the end events would happen and culminate. So it just really makes a lot of sense. It's called the Day of Remembrance as well. Yom Teruah, blowing of the horn. So again, here we have the Scottish kilt theme that's showing up now. Jewish New Year equals Scottish kilt. That's why they're using that code. And then Brad Pitt was just in a movie that comes out August 5th. August 5th of August equals 159. They did that on purpose. The end of the year, 159. So that's why they were coding Obama's birthday and August 5th. They were coding the end of the year, Rosh Hashanah. The end of the Jewish year and beginning of the next year is Rosh Hashanah. ASAP Rocky also coded yellow and black bandana in his article that he was wearing the kilt in. Yellow and black bandana equals 1565. Equals 1565 equals the Day of Judgment. Rosh Hashanah is known as the Day of Judgment. It's the yearly Day of Judgment. You can see the Day of Judgment, the portrayal of Rosh Hashanah as a Day of Judgment dominates the liturgy and customs of the holiday season. Daily Mail calls this blasphemous bikini codes. Anyway, it codes Second Coming on 9/26. Blasphemous religious themed bikini quote, and this is pretty offensive actually. I read the comments, people were not happy with it, neither am I. Actually used this code already in Kelly, the Ryan live show with Kelly and Ryan with the guest. Blasphemous religious themed bikini. And this was, remember, the second coming of Michael Jackson. So second coming, so of Michael Jackson equals 9/26. So that would be Rosh Hashanah, because Rosh Hashanah starts on September 25th and goes to September 27th, 2022. 870 is also a code for this topic. Remember when Brad Pitt says we're all gonna die? We're all gonna die, so let's mess it up. Well, you can bet that was a quote. We're all gonna die. 870. That of Michael Jackson was 870. So they're connecting this 926 to 870, which is Day of Judgment. And then Brad Pitt coded that, we're all gonna die. 870. Day of Judgment. And then here's the blasphemous bikini. Of course they did it for the code. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. All those words together equals 1206, which equals 629. September 25th is 629 on the Jewish calendar.
And now here are Ryan Seacrest, Tamron Hall, and Flora. And now here are Ryan Seacrest, Tamron Hall, and Flora.
And then here is the Day of Judgment code again. We just saw that code.
Let's say hi. We're gonna go this way. Go this way. Hi, Talon. Hi, Talon. Hi, Talon.
Her name is Tamron. He mispronounced her name on purpose.
Hi, Talon. Hi, Talon.
And then that's the other number, the Day of Judgment for the code that they just used, 870. Close this with this very symbolic article that I showed you earlier. The Earth's shortest day was June 29th ever. It was the Earth's shortest day ever. It was cut short. So, it was cut short. Cut short equals Judgment Day. How appropriate. Judgment Day, 7:44. Judgment Day, it's Rosh Hashanah due to a slight, quote, wobble. Okay, so if you add what? Cut short plus the wobble, which is quoted here. See this? There's a reason why they put quotations and things in articles. You can see that that equals 666, 603 score and 6. Well, I have 603 score 6 without the and equals 1565. And then that equals the Day of Judgment. $15.65, okay? Also, I'm seeing an orange trend, and orange equals 183. The Day of Judgment is Rosh Hashanah every year. So they're heavily discussing that in codes right now, guys. The reason why they coded Barack's birthday is because Barack birthday encodes the date for Rosh Hashanah, so it's on the 7th month, the first day of the month this year on the Jewish calendar, 7/01, which would be our September 26, 2022. That's why they made such a big deal out of Barack's birthday. Not that anything was to happen that day, but they were coding his birthday for this purpose. More Daily Mail codes relating to this topic. You can see she's wearing a black mini dress, but it's obviously made out of velvet. That is what the code is here in this article. So, black dress. It's a mini dress. Black velvet mini. 960. How many times have we been seeing that code? See, they code in clusters, the same codes over and over again. A equals Doomsday, Second Coming. This is a code within a code. Doomsday equals 629. 629 is the Jewish date for September 25th. How many times have we seen that date in this presentation? 629. So Elul 29. Elul is the 6th month or the 12th month. So 629 is 9/25/2022. So that guy's wearing a cross on his hat. The cross equals 642. 1st of Tishri, 701. Remember that equaled Barak birthday. 701 is September 26th. Rosh Hashanah. Pictured in this, she is wearing 2 different color earrings, red and blue. People don't normally do that. Take a look at that number 2, 1258. Different, so second coming forever is a code within a code equals 1257. Remember the license plate was 1258. They do 1 apart codes that are just 1 apart very often, because they themselves know gematria that well that they can do that. Forever, 926. 926 is Rosh Hashanah in 2022. So second coming, 926 is the code decoded. Forever was just a stand-in for 926. That's why I picked it. Tishri the 1st was the 6th day of creation. Be very interesting to see the end happening at the beginning, wouldn't it? So she's wearing different red and blue earrings. I find it very fascinating that that equals 928. You see the different red and blue earrings there. Different red and blue earrings, 928. So that's the fast of Gedaliah, which is just right after Rosh Hashanah season. It's the 3rd of Tishri, 2022. So what they are doing is coding the time frame of Rosh Hashanah by doing this. She's holding a bag right in front of her, blue Prada raffia tote. Do you see that bag she's holding right in front of her? And that equals 1086. Start of the year, which is this another name for Rosh Hashanah, is 1086. 1st of Tishrei equals 1086. That's September 26, 2022. So guys, now we know why they were heavily coding Barack Hussein Obama's birthday. It's not because anything was to happen on August 4th or 5th, but it's because it hid Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah 2022 is from 629 to 702. Rosh Hashanah 926 2022 is 701. It's Tishri the 1st. We just saw in the article the guy wearing the cross on his hat. The cross, 1st of Tishri. The cross and 1st of Tishri, 642. I'm going to end this video right here, but now we know why they were coding his birthday so much. Now we know why they looked stunned and scared when they were coding the sign of the Son of Man. They're looking forward to Rosh Hashanah 2022. God bless you guys. Hang in there. A couple months. I am hoping on Rosh Hashanah 2022 with all of my heart.